So there's no protection.
And then you just hear this. Like,
oh no, I don't like this. No, why are dolls so scary?
hello, I am Orrin.
And I'm Cary.
And we are the Skull Crawlers. we'll figure that out eventually. And we ask you to suspend disbelief, the show where we invite you to open your mind and expand your horizons as we discuss the paranormal, taboo, and otherwise mysterious occurrences in our universe. And in tonight's episode, we are discussing the phenomena of cursed dolls. And Cary, you have a story about
those are spooky dolls, guys.
Spooky dolls, yeah.
I mean, who's not afraid of dolls? Because they're kind of horrifying, you know?
Yeah. Doll's eyes.
Yeah.
Beady.
So we have a special guest for this episode, and I think you guys are gonna like her. Her name's Tina. Come on over, Tina.
Here she comes.
Her name is Tina, and she is a buddy.
I don't want.
She's a new buddy. She's a new buddy of ours. Tina is Sydney's mom's childhood doll, and she is great. She's amazing, and you have to say nice things about her.
Is her name Tina because she's got this Tina Turner haircut?
Yeah. I don't know why her name is Tina, but her mom grew up with her. Apparently, her mom's sister gave her a little haircut.
Yeah.
And then they bought this dress, I think, recently, is what she told me.
Oh, really? So this is the thing they, like, routinely keep... don't do that. This is the thing they routinely, like, keep up with and decorate, I guess.
Yeah, so they play hide the doll around Halloween season.
Oh, okay.
So they hide her around the house.
That's like their version of Elf on the Shelf?
Exactly.
Cool.
I think she told me that, yeah. They don't
really?
play Elf on the Shelf.
Dope.
So, yeah. So, say hi, Tina.
Hi, Cary.
Okay, she's gonna sit in the back.
I hate the way its head moves.
Her head, Orrin.
Excuse me.
Her head.
Wow.
But that's not the only surprise that I have for tonight. Orrin, are you ready?
No.
Can you close your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't open them.
I'm not opening my eyes.
He's a naughty boy, or they're gonna know.
If you put it right in front of my face, I'm gonna freak.
We have some other dolls here, and these ones might actually legit be haunted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are probably 50 or 60 years old. I can't really tell.
Okay, they sound
I
like
don't
it.
know. Yeah, she's porcelain, baby. That's high quality stuff. I don't remember her name, but she was very famous.
Well, she's not gonna enjoy that. That's rude.
Oh, here, you hold her for a second.
Okay, all right.
And then we have this creepy clown little doll here. And I don't know her name either.
Oh, rude.
But she is horrifying. Let me tell you what. And
why does her head move like that?
Because she's upset with you. So yeah, we have 3 guests, all potentially haunted. We don't know, and we'll dive into some of those paranormal theories with dolls here in a little bit. So they're going to hang out with us, and then with a special new thing that we're doing, we're going to actually try to communicate with them.
Today, live.
Not
live. So if you're an audio listener, I'm sorry. This is just incentive to launch the YouTube version. So
or Spotify. We have video.
Or Spotify. True. Yeah.
So we have 3 horrifyingly haunting dolls, and yeah. So special episode tonight.
Yeah, we have an audience for the first time. For the first time.
A true background audience.
Yeah, I hate this. Legit. One of those is gonna move.
They're watching and listening to everything we say.
And
so
we're not gonna know until we edit it later and we watch the video and like you see like it blink or something.
Oh God. Viewers, please watch the dolls for the episode during the episodes, and let us know if you find anything strange.
Yeah, leave a comment, timestamp where if you see something, because we'll definitely. If we don't see an edit, we'll probably... I don't know. I don't want to witness that.
The other day, Orrin and I put a Facebook post up. And what did it say, Orrin? What did you...
2 males looking for doll, inquire within. Or haunted doll.
Yeah, and so we got hit up by, surprisingly, so many people. Oh my gosh. And my friend Lacey... commented on it and tagged somebody, and then this person was like, "Oh, I got the haunted dolls," and sent me some pictures. And I'm like, "Those are the dolls." Yeah, dude, pretty exciting. I actually went and met Chase last night at 11 p.m.
Oh, nice.
In a back alley behind the Blue Note, and I waited back there for like 15 minutes. And I was like, no one's coming to bring me haunted dolls. This is how I'm gonna die. This is literally how I'm gonna die. It is.
That's the plot.
I was like, it is 11 o'clock at night. I'm meeting this person from the internet in a literal dark back alley for 2 haunted dolls.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna get jumped and stabbed and killed, and the story is going to be that I died trying to get some haunted dolls. So I literally almost died for this episode. For you guys.
For you.
Just saying.
For YouTube views.
Also, there would be no way that you could talk your way out of that to the police.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just in an alleyway and someone's like, hey, what are you doing back here? Like, oh, I'm waiting for the drop-off of 2 haunted dolls. They're like, you're arrested.
You're on a list now.
Literally a back alley drug deal for 2 haunted dolls.
Yeah.
For this episode. I mean, come on. The dedication. Not only that, I got really nervous last night when I got home. The dolls never entered my house. I literally walked around back.
They've been in here.
Brought them into the studio back here. And I just didn't feel good about it. I literally padlocked the door. Because, like, if they get out or somebody breaks in and the dolls disappear or whatever.
Did you take a mental note where you put them so in case they, like, moved?
It didn't look like they moved.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, thank God. But also, I got very nervous because I was like, I don't want to bring this energy into my house. And today, when I was at work, I just didn't have a good feeling about it. So I was like, okay, so I need to grab some sage at some point today. And so I had to rush home to get the oil changed in the car.
Okay.
And right after that, I'm like, I'm going to run to Craig's Emporium.
You really got some sage?
And I was on my way there. I had like 5 minutes to get there. Right before they closed, and I hit a train. I was like, son of a gun.
Oh, no.
So I didn't make it in time.
Okay.
So I Googled where to find sage, and then Whole Foods pops up. I'm like, of course. White people love Whole Foods. And I was like, they have sage. So I went to Whole Foods. And
nice, okay.
I got some sage. Let me show it to you. It's for cooking. It's literal ground sage. But
that's what I thought. I see you got cedar though, so
I did get cedar.
Okay.
I found it on the side of the road, and I was like, I'm gonna stop and get some cedar. So I'm gonna cleanse this place when we're done. I was about to say bad energy in here.
My girlfriend, we've been to Craig's. We go to Craig's a lot because she loves that place. You can get sage like aerosol, like in a spray, like in a spritz bottle.
That doesn't count. There's no way that counts. No,
I don't
know. No. I do have some.
Dude, imagine the demons being like, "Does that count?"
It counts. It counts.
It's literally in a Febreze bottle. Does it count?
It's not a Febreze bottle. It's smaller than a Febreze bottle. It counts. I think it counts.
Maybe. I don't know.
I wouldn't trust it.
Is it count more than cooking?
I think it
spices?
Counts more than cooking spices.
You think so, dude? Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, I've got the sage. I've got the cedar. I'm gonna cleanse this place.
I will say
because I'm a little scared.
In this instance, I trust the cedar more than that sage.
Oh yeah, for sure. I called my dad earlier, and I was like, "Dad, do you know any haunted doll stores?" And he told me one, and you're gonna poop your pants.
Okay.
So wear your brown pants, guys. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to Longhorn Hill, where we get our cedar from. It's like white people, they burn sage. They call it smudging. It's like, but I mean, we burn cedar. I'm like, okay. So I got the cedar, got the sage, and yeah, we'll make this place nice
Covering
and
all your bases. Right.
exactly.
Okay.
And so in case we, do have anything that might attach itself to us, then we'll be hopefully a little safer.
Okay.
And my uncle Frank told me that he put like wood ash, like fire ash, on the four corners of the house, and that also protects.
Oh, okay.
And he's like real native.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. But I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Either way, very excited about tonight's episode.
All right.
And I think we're gonna have a good time.
It's gonna be real. All right.
Orrin's got some news he wants to talk about. So.
Yes. Bigfoot news updates. As you know, last time I reported about a supposed Bigfoot skull discovered by YouTuber Coyote Peterson. Well, I have some heartbreaking news. It was a hoax.
Okay, explain.
Not real at all.
Sure. Yeah. You trust the government?
I trust the guy who put out the video a week later saying it was a hoax.
Sure.
So,
oh my God.
Okay. So the purpose of the initial video was to create a scenario of what not to do whenever you come across remains or artifacts in the wild, like historical artifacts or whatever.
Okay.
Because he had that whole rigmarole about like, oh, I gotta send it to customs, they're gonna confiscate it, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And he supposedly snuck it in or whatever, or snuck it across the border, which you're not supposed to do. Let's see. So let's see. There's no earth-shattering Bigfoot news out in the world, unfortunately, and understandably, the community is upset. And they voiced their frustrations.
This is my frustration. I'm voicing it.
In the comment section of Peterson's video, which I will share a few with you now.
Oh, gosh.
I've got one comment from a J.R. Trunscott. Says, "Wow, Coyote, it stinks that you sunk to this level. I've always loved your content." And then we have another one from a user named Spicy Turtle. Says, "I really love the videos, but I'm left just really sad. I truly thought there was finally evidence. This is a bummer." And finally, last one. This is probably the most damning of them all, from Michael Roberts. He says, "Man, this is so damn disappointing. The entire reason I follow Coyote is because he doesn't do stuff like this or engage in clickbait. Now he's doing both. I'm going to take a break for a while, then I'll come back in a few months and hope Coyote has reflected a bit and gone back to his roots." So he not completely boycotts the guy, but he's going to take a break. Still going to be subscribed and just come back later.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to watch him now just as much as I did before. Not at all.
Not at all. So as you can see, the internet's upset because when is it not? Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
upset?
I'm very upset. Yes. I mean, I didn't get my hopes up too much anyway, because the last episode you talked about how it was more than likely a hoax.
Yeah.
So I was already kind of on the fence about the information anyway. So I had my, I was hopeful.
Yeah.
For sure. But now I don't trust anybody anymore at all.
Just don't trust the internet. That's your first rule.
True.
First rule.
But what if the government...
Silence him, made him put out
another
the video.
Cover up. Okay, hear me out. And we're not going to talk about Bigfoot very long. I know you guys want to hear some doll stories. There's a book written by Max Brooks called De-Evolution. It's his follow-up novel to World War Z. He's only done 2 novels over the course of 20-ish years or whatever.
Technically.
Zombies.
Yeah,
but it's not a novel. But he put so much research into this novel about Bigfoot. And the theory behind it is, and they actually interview real scientists, biologists, Bigfoot cryptozoologists and stuff like that. Yeah. And they talk about like real statistical evidence of why Bigfoot might be real and why the government would cover it up. And the book is really interesting because the government was so afraid of like the Bigfoot, I guess, race that they just started assassinating them in like the 50s and the 60s.
Really?
Kind of hunting them and then shutting everybody up. And then now there's hardly any left. And in the book, very good book, you should check it out. It's a slow burn, but there's this very like Tesla-like civilization at the top of like Mount Helens. And Mount Helens erupts again. and it sends all of the wildlife down the hill, including the Bigfoot. And so all of these people that are living in this little society up on the mountain, they have to survive and fight off an angry race of Bigfoot.
Dope.
It's really good. It's really interesting.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. The end is fantastic.
Oh, really?
The audiobook is read by Judy Greer.
Okay.
Who is great. And she does a freaking great job. It's awesome.
Cool. All right.
Highly recommend it. But that is all theoretical. Like, what if that actually did happen?
Yeah.
And any signs of Bigfoot, Sasquatch now are immediately covered up, shut up. Do I think that Coyote Peterson was silenced by big government? I don't think so. I think he just sucks and he's an idiot. But there might be stuff out there that's...
There might be. Yeah.
Oh, also, check out The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Killed the Bigfoot. Great movie. You haven't seen it.
No, I haven't
Try to
seen
get you to watch it. It has Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
And he plays the man who killed Bigfoot.
Just in the mustache.
The man who killed Hitler and then killed the Bigfoot. And it's incredible. It's very slow and it's very, artistic. But the fight scene at the end with the Bigfoot, so good.
Okay.
It'll literally make you afraid of Bigfoot because it's like disgusting and he's got this horrible disease that literally could wipe out the earth if anybody gets in contact with it. And so they get Sam Elliott, who was the assassin who killed Hitler, to go and kill the Bigfoot. And he goes and fights the Bigfoot.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Okay.
I spoiled it for you and for you guys.
I mean,
But
I
still,
could
it's
have
worth a
guessed
watch.
from the title that he eventually kills Bigfoot. But
Wow. Spoilers in the titles now. Come on, guys. All right. And that's it on
This
Bigfoot.
movie has a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's awesome.
so that's good.
It's good.
Interesting,
It's Sam
alright.
Elliott. He doesn't do anything bad.
IMDb is not about it, but
Yeah.
Also,
Exactly.
it never
Also-
is.
Yeah.
Here's,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not surprising at all.
yeah, it's got Sam Elliott in it, so
He's
like
great.
you said.
Okay. All right. We'll give it a watch.
All right. On to Haunted Dolls.
Haunted Doll is the topic of tonight's.
Watch at your own risk.
Mm,
You may be cursed by some of the images that you'll see of Robert the Doll.
but I also think you'll be alright. So
Also what?
nothing to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Yes. First, I would like to begin by talking about Robert the Doll. We're just checking in with the dolls. Any activity?
Yeah, they look happy and they look like they're having a good time.
Good. This is our demographic for this topic. Robert the Doll is supposedly the basis for Child's Play and the inspiration behind Chucky, which I'll get more into that later. Robert the Doll is an allegedly haunted doll exhibited at the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida. And so here's a little background on Robert. The doll originally belonged to Robert Eugene Otto, an eccentric artist who belonged to a prominent family in Key West. Robert was a doll Otto had throughout his childhood. The doll can be seen currently wearing a sailor suit, which many have presumed to be an actual outfit that the human Robert would wear. Robert cherished the doll, human Robert cherished the doll, and the two were inseparable.
Okay.
Now, according to legend, the doll has supernatural abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and make giggling sounds.
Oh my gosh.
Some versions of this legend claim that a young Bahamian girl gave Otto the doll as a gift or as a retaliation for a wrongdoing. There are a lot of different lore behind Robert the Doll and that conflict with history or fact a bit, because in reality, the actual doll is a display doll that is usually used in jewelry cases, and it's usually dressed like a jester.
Can we go back just a second? You said that his girlfriend gave it to him?
No, a Bahamian girl.
Oh, Bohemian girl. Bohemian girl.
From like the Bahamas.
Okay.
Yeah.
For what exactly?
For as a gift or as, let's see, or a retaliation for a wrongdoing. So the conceit there is like it's voodoo.
Okay.
The doll is voodoo because for some reason all these stories, people from Jamaica or Bahamas, they all know voodoo.
Okay, so let me stop you there just
Okay.
for a second. Last night when I met Chase
Okay.
in the dark alley behind the Blue Note, it was like the perfect scenario of somebody just thinking this is probably not what happened, but like somebody else pawning off these evil dolls onto somebody.
Okay.
Because I was like, he gave them to me, and then was just like gone. Like, okay, thank you, bye. Like, didn't say like keep them safe, anything like
really?
that. But it was just like, okay, thank you, bye.
He never said like, I expect these back. Blah, blah, blah,
No.
Really? Okay.
So if these dolls haunt us forever, then
Haunt you forever, you
it's,
mean?
it's
Because
gonna
they're
be, it's
in
gonna be
your
like
ownership.
it's gonna be like the Ring, sort of. You know, where you just kind of have to
7 days.
7 days to live, or you have to pawn them off on somebody who wants them.
No, and it follows kind of deal.
Yes. Okay.
Did you
Anyway.
say that this was the basis for Child's Play?
Yes, I will get to that here in a second, which it's not. I'll just spoiler alert, it's not.
Do you guys know what the original title for Child's Play was going to be?
No.
I did look this up, but I don't
There's going to
remember.
be 2.
Yeah.
Batteries not included.
I saw that.
Which, taken.
Yeah.
And then Blood Buddies.
Yes, that's the other one, yeah.
Blood Buddies
cool.
was going to be tight, though, because that script was Don Mancini.
Mm.
And the whole thing was going to be like Chucky comes to life because of the kid making a blood pact with the doll, and then the doll killing the kid's bullies, and it was going to be super metal.
Which, interesting that you say that, because there's a kind of like, I don't know, it's like chicken for the egg situation or a bit of lateral thinking, but according to some legends of Robert the Doll, young Otto would imbue the doll with intense negative energy, thus triggering the doll's supernatural abilities, and the doll would act out on behalf of the child, and like say it would cause a ruckus or just like be like menacing because this child would blame everything on the doll, and the doll would act out for young Otto, which
His name's Otto.
Robert Eugene Otto. I'm just using the name to differentiate between the doll and the child.
That's a cool name.
Let's see, I mentioned that. Yes. So in all actuality, in reality, the doll was a gift from Robert's grandfather, who had bought him in Germany and brought him back to Key West.
Okay.
And like I said, Otto would cherish the doll, love this doll, had it all through, adulthood or growing up through adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And after his passing, Otto's wife came in to own their home and the doll, and she promptly locked the doll in the attic in a cedar chest.
Well,
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing. But actually, here I am with 3 potentially haunted dolls in my house that I willfully went out and got. So maybe I wouldn't have done the same thing.
Man, you're just inviting all sorts of...
They're not in my house, okay?
Yeah,
They're outside,
yeah.
technically, in the little studio.
I guess that's a... You're safe there, I guess, because it's 20 feet away.
Yeah, there's a padlock on the door.
So after Robert's wife passed, eventually the house was bought by a woman named Myrtle Reuter. Reuter eventually turned the house into a hotel, and visitors claimed they would hear unexplained footsteps from the attic and impish giggling
Oh my god.
from the attic.
No.
And
Attics are the scariest.
scary
thing.
already. And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Because there's this much drywall
Yeah.
protecting you from whatever's up there. It literally just takes one bad step and you're in the house.
Yeah.
So there's no protection.
And then
if somebody's in your
you
attic.
just hear this. Like,
Oh no, I don't like this. No, why are dolls so scary? I might cry.
let's see. So apparently there was one instance of a plumber working in the attic, and he had heard giggling while he was up there.
No.
And then when he turned, the doll had moved from one location to the other while he was up there.
No, I'm legit so scared.
Let's see here. Myrtle eventually had enough, and she donated it all to where Robert resides now at the East Martello Museum. Robert wasn't initially on display until people had learned that the museum had the doll, because even before he went on display, there was already kind of like a lore legend about this hotel and the doll and how like, creepy it was or whatever. So when they finally put him on display in the museum in a glass case, museum staff noticed a strange shift in energies. And whenever anyone tried to photograph Robert, the camera would malfunction, causing pictures to develop blurry or out of focus.
Just had to check on them.
Which that part, because there are dozens of pictures online of the doll.
Yeah, it's technology.
Yeah.
Any technology could malfunction. Speaking of, we'll get into our malfunctions later, but continue. Technology and haunting stuff, it's always just kind of very, I don't know, like, I'm always skeptical when it comes to technology. I'm like, oh, my battery died. It's like, okay. But, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, continue.
So along with that, the pictures developing or blurry or out of focus, Robert also supposedly places curses on people whenever he feels disrespected. So if you take a photo without first asking him permission, he will curse you until you apologize. There are numerous accounts of museum goers experiencing misfortune after capturing Robert's image. And in fact, the museum receives tons of mail that is addressed to Robert. And usually these letters are written apologies saying,
Chick's trying to bang him or something, like
honestly, that
Marilyn
too.
Manson. Not Marilyn Manson. The other one. Charles Manson. That's his name, right? I could not my blanking right now. You know, all these women are trying to marry him because they think he's hot.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's
But yeah, essentially stuff like that. Crepes just being fans of spooky dolls.
Yeah, who would want to do that? Like, they would record podcasts about them. And stuff like that.
I'm not a fan of dolls. Like, I'm just reporting.
Okay, all right.
I'm just spreading information.
Impartial here.
Yeah, I'm impartial. And a lot of this mail was, apologies saying, because like when people, there have been like numerous accounts of like people like after taking a picture, they would have car troubles, they would lose all their money, they would get divorced soon after, which is like all coincidence.
Yeah,
but
those are also everyday problems.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That happened to a guy I knew last week.
Yeah.
Did you take pictures of the dolls? Yeah, exactly. One day. Happens to him every day.
And then people just trying, like, asking him to curse somebody on their behalf or, like, an enemy for them. And then he would receive also just gifts in general. Like, somebody had sent in a box of peppermint candy, like, with no return address, and just, like, sent it to the doll.
Okay.
So, this...
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting thing I discovered while researching this, like, watching various YouTube videos or whatever. When people would take images or, like... home footage of Robert the Doll, like they would say, his foot moved in a glass case or whatever. Every comment in the comment section would people being apologizing because they believe that just by watching a video of Robert,
oh my gosh,
you were cursed. So people in the comments saying, "I'm sorry, Robert, for viewing your image."
Should we put in a disclaimer in the beginning of this because we're gonna have pictures of Robert.
We're gonna have pictures, yeah,
and probably some video. Okay, so we're gonna insert this towards the beginning of the story. And watch at your own risk. You may be cursed by some of the images that you'll see of Robert the Doll.
But I also think you'll be alright, so...
Also what?
Nothing to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, back to the episode.
And even Robert the Doll was featured in an episode of Deadly Possessions, which was an offshoot by Zach Bagans of Ghost Adventures fame.
Sweet.
So you can find an episode of that. But
okay,
just the doll is creepy. Like it just looks creepy. It has like a weird like monkey kind of like chimp face, like Curious George almost.
No,
but it's like white, like almost like flesh colored.
Okay,
but yeah,
brutal.
That's Robert the Doll. So
Robert the Doll.
Yeah. So
okay.
Isn't I think, man, I don't know if it was him. Post Malone was on that show once, and he like touched Zach Bagans while Zach Bagans touched something else.
Yes, I looked this up. It was a Dybbuk box, which is
That's right.
The most haunted artifact in the world.
Yeah, artifacts. Like
there's more than one Dybbuk box.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
He like almost got in a car wreck right after, something like that.
Yeah.
But also, he's just out here wilding. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Post Malone. I mean, come on. He's America's sweetheart.
Yeah, that is Robert the Doll.
Robert the Doll.
If you, after seeing his image, you want to apologize, just I don't know, vocalize it somewhere.
You got to send him a box of peppermints.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so he's still there?
Scribes.
He's still there?
He is still there, yes. He is still at the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida.
Yo.
Yeah. I also read a thing that every October, I guess, for Halloween, they transfer him out and they put him on display in the post office in the town. So
the post office?
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess wider, more visitors come there, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, that is Robert the Doll.
Well, right on. Good info.
Yeah.
Very spooky. I am thoroughly spooked, especially about the attic talk. Because
you have an attic, right?
I do have an attic, yeah. And I'm the one who ever climbs up there. And I can confirm that there were no spooky dolls up there last time I was up there.
I don't know. That might change after tonight.
Oh, God. You guys. Oh, God. Well, heck yeah. Good story. That is very cool and very spooky. Well, right on. You want to go on to your next one?
Yeah, I will go on. I will continue on. Next one I have is Annabelle the Doll, which I believe
everyone knows Annabelle.
Everyone knows Annabelle. So
at least for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Everyone knows the movie Annabelle.
I will tell you, researching this, there is a lot of, almost disclaimer up front, there's a lot of hearsay about Annabelle. There's no concrete story or evidence about Annabelle. Like, all of this is like
more like a legend that kind of, I don't know, like has a story of its own kind of.
Yeah, like it's all like you have to trust the word of Ed Warren, like the Warrens.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and like there's no.
Okay, Dylan's giving us a.
Oh no, he's just a liar.
Oh yeah.
What?
That,
the guy from The Conjuring? Okay.
The worst.
Okay, tell us why he's the worst. Don't just give me this and then tell us.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he, Ed and Lorraine Lauren,
the old couple from the Conjuring movies.
Yes, they were the whole reason why the Amityville horror blew up.
Yeah.
Where really it was just like, it was a giant murder-suicide sort of situation. Brutal, super bad thing.
Yeah, Ronald DeFeo Jr., dude.
Yeah.
Heard voices, told him to kill his family, so we went in there with the shotgun.
Yeah. Somehow he managed to murder everybody while they slept with a shotgun. Super crazy thing.
It's very crazy because he murdered them all as they were sleeping, and none of them ever woke up. They didn't wake up to all of the other gunshots.
Yeah.
You would wake up.
There was like 7 people in that house, I think.
Dude.
Like maybe more, and several of them slept in the same room. So it was like if there's 2 sisters in one room and one gets shot and the other one doesn't wake up, like super weird.
And they're all just laying in their bed, just like
But then Ed and Lorraine Lauren came in after like the next family moved into the Amityville house, and essentially just like helped blow that story up that the house was haunted, and made a bunch of money off of that, and wrote books about it, and that's how they kickstarted their career. And then every other family that's lived in that house since is like, this isn't haunted at all.
Just
like,
house.
it doesn't even have eyeballs. The real house.
Right. And I think they got a bunch of money from like the movies and everything. I mean, they just like banked off of misfortune,
American
and
Dream.
death. Hell yeah!
Can you blame them? I mean, look at us right now. I mean, come on. Anyway, Annabelle. Continue.
So, with that being said, this is all. I had to research a lot.
Okay.
Like, I had to find.
I've seen all 3 of the Annabelle movies.
Okay.
They rock.
That's
awesome.
that's because I haven't seen those movies, so that was the hard thing about doing this research. Because
yeah.
Because it was like, am I reading like just a synopsis or a breakdown of events in the movie?
I'll tell you if you are.
Okay. So Annabelle is an allegedly haunted Raggedy Ann doll that is currently housed in the now closed Occult Museum of Paranormal Investigators.
Now closed?
I didn't look this up. It is closed. Yeah. Museum of Paranormal Investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Annabelle was moved there after supposed hauntings in 1970. Now, once again, this is all according to the Warrens. There's no like secondhand account or thirdhand account. According to the Warrens, a student nurse was given the doll by her mother in 1970, and this nurse's name was Donna. Donna loved the doll, a gift from her mother that reminded her of home, and she cherished the doll. She would soon find strange events surrounding the doll. For instance, she would leave the doll splayed out on her bed in the morning, like, you know, just like whatever. And then she would come home at night and find either the arms would be crossed, legs would be crossed, or just its body, you know, whatever. Arms or legs, like, in different positions.
I am deceased. Continue.
Soon Donna would find penciled messages written in childlike writing on parchment paper. The messages read, "Help us" and "Help Lou." Lou was Donna's roommate, Angie's fiance, who also lived in the apartment. In fact, Lou...
I don't remember any of this from the movie, so this is different. Anyway.
And like I said, this is all from Ed Warren's account, and there is a biography written about the Warrens called Demonology or Demonologist or something like that.
Okay.
That came out in the 90s, and this is all in that book.
Okay.
Let's see. Lou had a couple encounters with the doll. Lou was initially wary of the doll and warned Donna that it was evil. And perhaps knowing Lou's apprehension, Annabelle retaliated. In fact, one night, Lou awoke suddenly from a deep sleep and realized he was unable to move, like almost paralysis, like sleep paralysis. Let's see. He saw the doll at his feet and watched as it slowly climbed up his legs and over his chest. And before he knew it, the doll had begun to strangle him until he blacked out.
This is literally my nightmare. This is my nightmare. I hate this so much.
And Lou woke up the next morning certain that his experience wasn't a dream, that it actually happened.
No.
And Lou would have one more terrifying experience with the doll. Preparing for a road trip the next day, Lou and Angie were reading over maps alone in her apartment.
Okay.
The apartment seemed eerily quiet, and suddenly rustling sounds coming from Donna's room aroused fear that someone had possibly broken into the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Lou, determined to figure out who or what it was, quietly made his way to the bedroom door. He waited for the noises to stop before entering and turning on the light. The room was empty except for Annabelle, who was tossed on the floor in the corner. Lou scoured the room for forced entry, but nothing was out of place. But as he got close to the doll, he got the distinct impression that somebody was behind him. Spinning around, he was quick to realize that nobody else was there. Then in a flash, he found himself grabbing for his chest, doubled over, cut and bleeding. His shirt was stained with blood, and upon opening his shirt, there on his chest was what looked to be 7 distinct claw marks.
No.
3 vertically and 4 horizontally.
No.
And they were all hot like burns.
What? I don't like that.
So remember that when you go to sleep tonight with these dolls and...
These dolls?
Yeah.
Hey guys, you're doing great. Why did we bring these dolls here, man? Okay, continue.
Donna had contacted a medium to investigate the doll after coming home one night and finding what looked like blood drops on the back of its hands and chest. Now, this is unrelated to the attacking Lou that happened after this incident, but this is just some context.
Yeah.
It was then through the medium Donna was introduced to the spirit of Annabelle Higgins. The medium related the story of Annabelle to both Donna and Angie. Annabelle was a young girl that resided on the property before the apartments were built. She was a young girl of only 7 years old when her lifeless body was found in the field upon which the apartment complex now stands.
Okay, so this is similar to Annabelle Creation,
Okay.
which is set back in the 1950s, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, there are conflicting legends about this aspect of
Sure.
the story.
The movie rocks. It's my favorite one of the trilogy.
Okay. That's David F. Sandberg, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he killed it.
Cool.
So good.
That book was called The Demonologist.
Yes.
The Demonologist, The Extraordinary Career of Ed and Lorraine Warren. You can get it on Kindle for $9.99 or paperback for $13.49.
Nice.
Brutal.
Let's see. Yes, like I said, there were conflicting reports about that aspect of the story. Some different versions say...
Different virgin?
Yeah, virgins. Different versions.
You know all about that.
God.
He was one until a couple months ago.
It's not true. Different versions of the story were either it was a girl who was found dead in the field, or to modernize it, I guess, she was the Annabelle. The girl was a tenant of the apartment, and like she had died in the apartments, and that's why she haunts.
Okay.
That complex. The spirit related to the medium that she felt comfort with Donna and Angie and wanted to stay with them and be loved. Feeling compassion for Annabelle and her story, Donna gave her permission to inhabit the doll and stay with them. They would soon find out, however, that Annabelle was not what she appeared to be. After Lou's experience, Donna felt that it was time to seek real expert advice, and thus the Warrens were brought in. The Warrens came to the immediate conclusion that the doll itself was not in fact possessed, but manipulated by an inhuman presence. Spirits do not possess...
What, Orrin?
I'm getting to that, Cary.
Oh my gosh.
Suspense. Spirits do not possess inanimate objects like houses or toys. They possess people. An inhuman spirit can attach itself to a place or object, and this is what occurred. The spirit manipulated the doll and created the illusion of it being alive in order to get recognition. Truly, the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll, it was looking to possess a human host. The spirit, or in this case, an inhuman demonic spirit.
Ah, no! I've seen the movies, but I didn't want to hear it. No. Okay, continue.
So, essentially, the next step of this phase of tricking these people into thinking it's a girl or whatever is the infestation stage of the phenomenon. It would have been complete human possession, and had these experiences lasted another 2 or 3 more weeks, the spirit would have completely possessed, if not harmed or killed, one or all of the occupants in the house. The Warrens then decide to perform a cleansing of the apartment. According to Ed Warren, the Episcopal blessing of the home is a wordy 7-page document that is distinctly positive in nature. Rather than specifically expelling evil entities from the dwelling, the emphasis is instead directed toward filling the home with the power of the positive and of God. So they perform an exorcist ritual, but it's not specifically on a person. It's just like cleansing the apartment. And thus driving out whatever evil is in the apartment, like, you know, we do with cedar, or,
Yeah.
you know, sage, yeah. After the blessing, Donna begged the Warrens to take the doll with them, and they obliged to give Donna peace of mind. Now, on the way home, the Warrens claimed that the car they were driving in would swerve on its own, and then the brakes would fail, with Annabelle seated in the back.
Oh my gosh.
After several
She
near...
snipped the brakes. She snipped the brake lines.
She cut them.
Just imagine her just like
Little
crawling down
tiny
like
dolls.
little scissors. Just cutting the brake line. Oh god.
After several near misses, Ed crossed the doll with holy water. He reached in his bag, grabbed holy water, and just, you know, and then after that, the disturbances stopped, and they made it home.
Plot twist, it was actually just vodka. From his flask. He's like, oh, wrong container of liquid.
Just got the doll super drunk.
Nah, it's burning.
When they returned home with the doll would resume its haunting, moving throughout the house on its own and even levitating.
No!
Yes.
I draw the line at levitating, dude. Run around all you want, but you start levitating.
Make your pitter patters all you want, but
That's
don't hover.
rules, dude. You don't start floating. No. Continue.
And there's one instance, their friend, friend of the Warrens, Father Jason Bradford, picked up Annabelle from a chair she was sitting in and said, "You're just a rag doll, Annabelle. You can't hurt anyone." And then dropped the doll back into the chair.
Okay, well, I mean, I like the faith, you know, the stern, just like,
Yeah.
this is...
Putting the doll in its place.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, it only has as much power as you give it.
Yeah, exactly. After this, Lorraine instructed Father Jason to be extra cautious while driving home and to call them as soon as he arrived home. A few hours later, the Warrens received a call from the father, and he had told them that his brakes failed at a busy intersection and his car was totaled. He almost died in a crash.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
No freaking way.
So he disrespected the doll and almost died because of it.
Oh, well, there's no way to beat this
Yeah.
Continue.
So the Warrens had a special case built for Annabelle inside the Occult Museum where she resides to this day, which to this day is the museum's closed, and presumably she's still there.
Dude, like, wasn't it like last year or the year before? Like,
I did
she
read that.
Escaped or something like that?
So that was a rumor that I remember that. Yeah.
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 Like, what happened with it? Was she just...
I didn't look
around
further
and
into
found
that.
her,
Yeah.
like, you know, in a different room or something?
I think it just didn't happen. I think it was just like a meme kind of thing where like, yeah.
You're saying the internet spreads misinformation?
All the time.
Ah,
Cary, it's 2022.
you're right. I mean, Coyote Peterson's out here. That coward. He needs to lose his name Coyote and be named something else like Weasel Peterson. Something like that. Weasel Peterson, I like that a lot.
Wiener Peterson.
Whoa, guy. All right. This is a family-friendly podcast.
Is it?
Hey, we're talking about demons over here, all right?
Yeah.
Fun for the family.
I think the last episode you guys talked about how fly that missing kid was.
But he looked great.
No, he did.
Come on.
He was fly.
He looked like he was a Russian sniping Owen Wilson. Have you seen that movie? What's it called?
Behind Enemy Lines.
God, he looks so freaking cool. Anyway, continue.
Since the case was built, Annabelle will no longer appear to move, but she is thought to be responsible for the death of a young man who came to the museum on a motorcycle with his girlfriend. Young man, after hearing...
Cool dude.
Yeah, he sounds pretty cool, like a James Dean type. The young man, after hearing Ed's account of the doll, defiantly went up and began to bang on the case, insisting that if the doll can put scratches on people, that he wanted to also be scratched. Ed said to the young man, "Son, you need to leave," and escorted him out of the building.
Okay.
I
I would have scratched him. Like, you want to be scratched?
I'll give you scratch. On the way home, the young man and his girlfriend were laughing and making fun of the doll when he lost control of his motorcycle and went head-on into a tree. The young man was killed instantly, but his girlfriend survived and was hospitalized for over a year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. That's never end.
So that was the last kind of reports of Annabelle. Recently, there's been some investigations, of course. BuzzFeed Unsolved looked into Annabelle. They visited the museum before it closed.
So Annabelle did not escape her glass box in the museum. It was like the case was lost in translation, literally. There was like there's a rumor that began with an interview of British actress Annabelle Wallis. She told The Hollywood Reporter about the time she ran into Tom Cruise on film. Quote, "He's on a different level, and I ticked a box. I got to run on screen with him, but he told me no at first. He said nobody runs on screen with me, and I said, but I'm a really good runner." This quote, when translated to Chinese, became
Nice.
Annabelle escaped. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
So,
Right.
long story short, she did not escape her glass enclosure.
No. But there is reason to believe that Annabelle is still in the museum, the closed museum, waiting for her next victim.
No, don't say
It's gonna be you, Cary.
Oh my god. I am so scared right now. I am not joking. I am literally terrified right now. And I just looked back for the audio listener at our dolls that we
I could have sworn that I moved on one of them. On Tina.
Oh gosh, no.
The funny thing you bring up the Annabelle Wallis thing, I didn't know this. Apparently she was in one of the Annabelle movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of them.
I haven't seen him either. But I was like researching stuff and just like looking through like synopsises and whatever.
Let's just stop the podcast right now. Everybody watching, just turn it down really fast because I'm talking to Orrin and I'm talking to Dylan. You guys, you call yourself horror fanatics.
I don't like
I
the
said
Conjuring
fanatics.
movies.
Fanatics. Shut up. Yes, you do. You just have to watch them. The Annabelle movies rock.
I do want to see them.
The original,
Yeah.
I say the first Annabelle movie and the Annabelle creation. They're so good. And they're
I-
so
I-
scary.
okay.
So scary. So good. I don't care if they are super inspired by what actually happened.
I do-
They're just awesome
yeah.
movies.
I do like the idea of Annabelle comes home because it's essentially babysitters in the house.
Yeah.
Lets the doll out, and then in turn the doll lets out all the other ghosts in the Warrens Museum. Like that's a neat concept, like almost like a the Scooby Doo episode or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And Dylan, what's your excuse?
You know, I've been busy. I had to watch a lot of
You've
horror
been busy. These
movies
movies have been out for like the past 8 to.
No, I get it.
Dude,
I
I've got
get
a
it.
lot on. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
We're all nostalgia horror fanatics, so we like watching that old stuff. And
Yeah,
there's
I
so
don't.
much
I don't
old
watch a lot of newer
stuff. Same.
stuff.
It's hard to
There's some
watch.
fire new stuff. But,
Yeah.
There is. There
Yeah.
is.
but it was coming out in a time when everything was just kind of like very hit or miss.
Very same, like
Yeah.
all the same thing.
That's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
accurate for sure. But I will say the Conjuring universe is just so cool. Everything that they've accomplished within this Conjuring universe is great. You know, all the movies they are hit or miss.
What are like 8
But
movies or
it's
something like that?
very cool that they're all in the same universe.
Yeah.
They're all somewhat inspired by real things.
It's like the Avengers of ghosts.
I know the Conjuring, the CCU, Conjuring Cinematic
Yeah,
Universe.
exactly. Yeah, they're about to start going to their multiverse as well. Just kidding. Okay, so all the listeners, you can turn it back up now. I'm talking to you guys again.
Now we're back.
Real quick, guys.
Yes.
Cary, what's that? I don't know if we've talked about it yet, but what's up with that shirt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what is up with that shirt,
So
Cary?
here we are, wearing the official Skullcrawlers merch. Check it out. Skullcrawlers Drive-In.
Give us a turn.
Check it out.
Nice.
Nice.
Shout out to Matthew Ellison for the design.
Mhm.
He sort of modeled it after the Winchester Drive-In in Oklahoma City, which is my favorite drive-in.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And it's so sick. We have pink and black. And thank you for everybody who bought one. This past week has been crazy. We sold almost every single one of them. I bought
How
50
many?
of them,
Oh, geez,
and I
okay.
have 9 left,
Nice.
which is just so crazy to me. You guys came through, and shout out to my super hot wife who modeled them, merchandised them, because if she didn't do that, then we wouldn't have sold that many, or very many at all.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's wild. But
Yeah, if
shout
we
out
were
to-
left in charge of that decision, I don't think we would have sold as many.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. So it's just, you know, Matt doing the killer design, and then my wife doing the merchandising, taking the pictures, and then modeling and stuff like that. And we sold so many. So thank you for everybody who bought one, because we're eternally grateful. Seriously.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my gosh,
this is
it's wild.
cool. This is dope.
And Orrin is rocking a new shirt as well.
Yes, I am.
This is the Ice Creamatory, and it is a new ice cream shop. It's going to be opening up in Norman, Oklahoma, and they sent us some free shirts. They're going to be opening this Halloween season. Yes, they're so sick. We all scream for ice cream. It is a Halloween-themed ice cream shop in Norman. They're going to open up the fall of 2022.
Just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, and they rock. They sent us some free shirts. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So we, for one, can't wait for them to open up,
Oh
because
yeah,
we're going to hang out with
opening
them
day. Yeah.
all the
I'd
time.
love to be there.
And who knows? Maybe we can get our own ice cream.
That'd be dope.
That'd be cool. So if you guys are watching, hook us up.
Give us an idea for
Want a themed ice cream?
ice cream flavors,
Yeah,
or what you think a Skullcrawler's ice cream should be.
totally. Anyway, back to the stories.
But yes, that's all I have for Annabelle.
Sweet.
These are my contributions for the week.
Okay, so Annabelle. Great stories, Warren. You killed
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Thoroughly impressed. You did your research. I am seriously impressed, and I am so scared. And I'm going to keep looking back at these dolls behind us. Oh, she just bit you. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Annabelle was a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yes.
And I have a story about some dolls
Okay.
from Indian country. Here we go.
Okay.
So we are Native Americans. We're Indians, so we have to tie it back to Native culture somehow. And I called my dad today because he told me this story a long time ago, and I wanted him to tell me again. So I had all the facts correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he told me so much, and I'm so grateful for it. But, gosh, there's really just so much. So dolls are used in Native culture for a lot of different things.
Okay.
Sometimes they are used for... Okay, so back in the day, when somebody's kid would die, they would be gifted a doll.
Mm.
And for that reason, they would be gifted this doll, and they could perform some magic, some medicine,
Mm-hmm.
and the kid who died, they could communicate with them with this doll, and they could talk to their child through this doll.
Mm-hmm.
And the doll would move around, would play with them, would talk to them,
Okay.
as if they're hanging out with their kid for sure.
Yeah.
You know, a couple minutes at a time. You know, every other night, every couple of nights, and they would put these dolls on the top of their bookshelf so they could see the whole room and monitor and just be around.
Yeah.
And over the generations, these dolls would get passed down, and people would kind of forget that, you know, you have to, you know, treat these dolls with respect. You have to brush their hair. You have to take care of them. It's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just very scary to, like, think about. Like,
Yeah.
these dolls were used literally to bring back the soul of a child just so you can kind of hang out with them and stuff like that. Very spooky stuff, and I can't say for sure which like tribes and cultures did that exactly, but I have heard that before, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it's
But-
almost like a extension of grief kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like a coping tool or mechanism. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just like you give them a vessel
Yeah.
to be in, just so you can spend a little time with them. And actually, in Annabelle Creation, which is the prequel movie, the second movie, that's what the parents used Annabelle for.
Ah, okay.
But ended up not, well, spoilers, ended up not actually being the daughter.
Yeah.
It was a demon pretending to be the daughter,
Yeah.
possessing the Annabelle doll. But, I mean, it's kind of based around that same idea.
Same concept,
You give it
yeah.
a vessel. You give your child a vessel, which is the doll, and you can hang out with them, play with them, talk to them. But sometimes dolls are used for like bad medicine, which means they could be used as like traps or what's the word I'm looking for? Like you can
Traps
kind of like
or-
spy on somebody almost.
Oh, okay.
So you can like gift them a doll.
Surveillance almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's like your what's the word I'm talking? What looking for when you're out of body and you're like
Astral project.
you're astral projecting through
Okay.
through a doll essentially.
Okay.
So you can like see through the eyes of the doll
Gotcha.
into this house, and it's used by like bad medicine men to like hurt or mess with other people. Very interesting stuff,
Okay,
for
okay.
sure. But also, they don't have to like gift it to you. They can just do that into dolls, because dolls, they kind of like, I don't know. Dolls are very strange, and they kind of have like a life of their own almost.
Is
We
it-
treat
is
them
it-
like they're people.
Yeah.
They look like people. They, you know, kind of their limbs move like people. And so I don't know exactly, like in the spiritual realm, like why dolls exactly, but they're vessels that are sometimes used for ghosts, spirits, demons.
I get why, because it's like a avatar almost, a representation of like a human
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
a
yeah.
recreation or whatever.
Exactly.
So that's why spirits are tied to dolls, or
Yeah.
dolls are the things that are possessed, you know, most of the time or whatever. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes these bad guys, these bad medicine men, and for everybody listening, medicine man is basically another word for like wizard or witch, but Native American version. Sometimes they're good medicine men, sometimes they're bad medicine men. In this case, they're using these dolls to spy on people or to mess with people. And so there's a story from Carnegie, which
Okay.
is a place close to my heart because that's where my people are from.
Mm-hmm.
It's where the Coyote headquarters are at. Our family land is right outside of Carnegie, and we went Dance to the Powwow this year in Carnegie.
Mhm.
So naturally, this is where most
Yeah.
of my people's stories are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Is right around this area. And so I called my dad today, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, do you remember that doll story that you told me when I was a kid? Can you tell me that again? Because I wanted to get the facts straight."
Yeah.
He's like, yes. So there was this old couple living in town, this old Indian couple, and they're in their 60s or 70s, and they were just happy, doing their thing, nothing too exciting going on in their lives. And I can't tell you like the time period or anything like that, but I mean it must have been in like the 70s or 80s
Yeah.
because that's when the Raggedy Ann dolls were very popular.
Yeah.
And they had a couple of them, 2 of them to be exact.
Okay.
And they were doing really well. And sometimes, if you're doing really well, people get jealous. People want what you have.
Mhm.
They want your happiness. They want your life. And so, just by existing and being happy and doing well, people will curse you.
Raggedy Ann came out on September 7th, 1915.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
So old.
1915?
Yes.
Wow,
1950, yes.
that's crazy.
They looked very different, though. I don't
Oh,
know.
really? Didn't have like the yarn hair and the big stupid eyeballs.
I guess,
I
like,
mean, big eyeballs.
the Raggedy Ann that I know is this doll, but I've also heard several times that the Annabelle doll is a Raggedy Ann doll. But
Yeah,
it's not. It doesn't look like it at all.
I was reading up on that. It is, but like in the 70s, they like redesigned the doll.
Oh, it's a doll revamp?
Yes. So in the 70s, it is a Raggedy Ann doll, but like in that specific design, it was like before a new redesign. So that's why it doesn't look like the current, like, currently like widely accepted version of the Raggedy Ann doll.
They
So
like
it's-
went for a more realistic vibe in the 70s.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Strange.
Mm.
So this couple, they're living their nice, happy life. They're retired, mowing their lawn, picket fence, all that stuff. They're just doing well. And some people just get jealous. They don't like it. They want your life. They want your money. They want your car. They want your house. So just by being them, they were cursed by a medicine man. And instead of their house being haunted and whatever curse things that happened to you, he used 2 Raggedy Ann dolls to haunt them and torture them.
Okay.
Their own dolls in their house. I don't remember a lot of details. I don't know if there really were that many details. But my dad told me that one night they were sleeping in their bedroom and the husband wakes up and he just like is frozen with fear because he knows that there's like an evil presence
Yeah.
in his bedroom.
Mm.
And he gets the chills, and so he like opens his eyes and he looks down at the foot of his bed and he sees 2 Raggedy Ann dolls standing on the foot of his bed, standing there. And he does that thing where he just like kind of like barely opens his eyes,
Yeah.
and so they can't tell that he's like looking at him, but they're just standing there. And then like he starts to freak out a little bit, so he opens his eyes and they see him, they see that he sees them, and they fall limp. Straight up
No,
Toy Story style. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and apparently another story happened when they were like crawling up his like not bed sheet, but what's the cover that goes over the comforter.
Yeah.
He like looked down and he saw him like crawling up his comforter as well.
And then they just stopped when he looked.
I don't know exactly. I don't know. My dad might have said that they ended up having like scratches on them and stuff like that.
Oh.
I think that he said that they had to call a medicine man over to
Yeah.
like take care of it. And so like that's one thing, that if you feel like you're cursed, like all these things are happening to you, then you call a medicine man and he'll come to your house. He'll be a shaman, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you the things to do, like burning cedar, putting ash at the 4 corners of your house, stuff like that, to kind of keep those spirits at bay. And there are a lot of different ways to like get rid of these this energy, these spirits and stuff like that, this bad medicine. And I don't know them because I'm not a medicine man. I live in the city. Like, I kind of grew up a little tame compared to most natives, so I don't know exactly, but I was talking to my Uncle Frank, who I've talked about past 2 episodes now. Shout out to Uncle Frank. I hope you're listening out there. Old Indian guy, Kiowa guy. He rules. You're the best, Uncle Frank. Anyway, I was asking about medicine men. I was like, "Do you like have any stories about medicine men, or like, have you ever done it before?" And he was like, "I have done it before. I have dabbled in medicine." And he basically told me how to curse somebody. And I didn't ask him to, but he told me like what to do and how to do it. I'm not going to share it on air. But he told me, and I was like, "That seems pretty easy." He's like, "Yeah, you just do this, and this person will be cursed." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, if you have somebody that you don't like, just do this." And I was like, "Huh, interesting." I'm not going to do that because if you do something wrong or your medicine backfires, it comes out on you tenfold. So much worse. So you have to really know what you're doing and really mean what you're doing.
I think that's a common thing in pagan and Wiccan stuff like that, and like curses, witchcraft, whatever. Like, if you screw up, it comes back on you. Like, that's like a common, So if you do it, you got to be like committed, 100%.
Yeah, and I seriously want to have, like, I'm gonna have my dad in on one of these episodes soon, and he'll just like talk about medicine, bad medicine men, witchcraft, stuff like that. Because he's got so many stories, and it's stuff that we're not technically allowed to talk about. It's taboo to talk about. But I want to talk about it because I think that like not talking about like bad medicine men and stuff like that gives them more power. So I kind of want to talk about it to get it out there. So we know what to look out for, know how to fight this stuff back. Because I don't know, I feel like that's kind of their little game plan is to like, oh, don't talk about me. It's kind of like the whole Voldemort thing. Don't say his name.
But the first step is awareness, spreading awareness.
Exactly. So I'm gonna have Pops. I'm gonna have you in on one of these episodes, and I want you to talk about medicine and stuff like that. But I'm gonna continue here, because that's one thing that happened. And then my dad was telling me another story about medicine, because again, medicine is used a lot in these dolls to control them, to curse people. And he was telling me that one time when he was a teenager, he's real kind of young, stupid, and full of faith. He's newly turned on to Jesus Christ, like Jesus Christ. He's like that guy, Jesus Christ. So he was gung-ho, straight up, just like for the Lord, Lord's force, just ready to fight anybody.
God's blood.
Ripping not Bibles in half. That's different.
Not Bibles.
I meant phone books.
Phone books.
Yeah, dude, straight up. Phone books, frying pans, but for the Lord, So he was hardcore about the Lord, and when he was like 17, 18 years old. Him and his best friend, Brad. And so they get a call from this old Indian woman, and she says, "Oh, my son, he's not the same. There's something wrong with him. I need you to come and pray for him." And so my dad, being like, "This guy is possessed or something. Let's go cast a demon out of this guy." And they had so much faith, so much dumb faith,
just blind, like, I can do this.
Yeah, exactly. They had a Bible in hand. They're like, all I need is faith, the mustard seed of faith, and we can go and cast out this demon. And so they show up at this guy's house, and he was probably young 20s, living with his parents, and they go in there, my dad and Brad, and she's like, he's in his room, he won't speak, he won't do anything, he just sits there in his chair, and he won't do anything. And she was like, last week he discovered my grandpa's medicine. It was in the attic right above his bedroom, and he started messing with it. And last week he sacrifice one of our dogs for this medicine so he can get some power. Yeah. And so they're like, no problem. We're gonna go pray this demon out of him.
Yeah.
And so they go into his room and it's dark when the curtain's shut, and they instantly like feel that the bad energy, the presence.
Yeah.
And so they go in there and he's just sitting in the chair, and he just looks incapacitated, just sitting there, just like he's not there at all.
Yeah.
Kind of vegetative, almost.
Comatose, almost. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah, just sitting there. And then so they like kind of walk around the room, they inspect a little bit, and they just like kind of check it out, and then they start praying. And they start praying. They got their hands on the Bible. They're doing the thing. They're like doing the tongues thing. Yeah. And
old priest and a young priest.
Exactly. They're throwing some holy water on the guy. I don't know if they did that. And then my dad gets this feeling, and he like looks up right above his chair, and my dad is like, "There's something up there." And so they look around the room, and there's a little entrance to the attic in that room.
Okay.
And so they peek their head up. They look around, and there's like a shoebox right above him in the attic. And so they get the shoebox, and they open it up, and it's full. It's got all sorts of medicine in there, bundles. It's got herbs and roots and hair in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they take the box. And they tell the lady, like, we're gonna dispose of this for you. Little did they know, that's not how it works. You can't just get rid of like this medicine and expect for that to fix your problem. Yeah. But apparently the guy, he started messing with his medicine and thought that if he did all the things it told him to do, then he would become a super powerful wizard in a way. Yeah. And it backfired on him because he didn't know what he was doing, and it literally drove him insane. And so he was completely not even in his own body anymore. Like, you could see that he's probably still in there in his eyes, but he had no control over his body anymore because he was messing with stuff he shouldn't have been messing with. Yeah. And so my dad and Brad, they take the shoebox and they go across town and they go to the church that they go to and they put it in the parking lot, and they're like, all right, here's how we get rid of it. We're going to set it on fire, which seems like the logical thing to do. You burn it. You burn the Ouija board. You don't burn the Ouija board. But in theory, like, you
supernatural, you burn the bones or whatever.
Yeah, with salt and stuff like that. So I understand their reasoning. Yeah. So they burn the shoebox, and they're standing there, and the smoke is kind of just like doing the thing,
being smoke.
And my dad hears a voice, and he looks at Brad, and he said, "Did you hear that?" And Brad was like, "No." And then the shoebox is just like in flames. And then my dad hears this voice in just plain English, just as loud as day: "Step into the flame, or step into the smoke. I will give you all the power you desire." And my dad started freaking out, and he's still so gung-ho about the Lord that he backs up until the box ends up burning, and then it's eventually just gone. Yeah. Apparently that was like one of the ways that the medicine was going to like transfer and keep going and doing the thing. And so that's his little story about medicine. He's got a lot more. Yeah. Because he was a missionary, and he's still like a super Christian spiritual man. And he told me that there's a lot more, but it's that type of medicine that they can use to like possess dolls to hurt people with. It's real bad and dangerous stuff. You really have to know what you're doing, and it's taboo to talk about. So I really don't know how it all works, because Native American medicine, magic, whatever you want to call it, is like its own thing. Moving on to the next story. Okay. Oh, I should finish that by saying my dad told me that young boy just like is still in a mental asylum to this day.
Oh, really?
He never recovered. Still alive. Oh, wow. Still out of his mind. Bananas. Because he messed with stuff he shouldn't have been messing with, like dolls. No, I'm just playing. They haven't moved, guys.
No, that one definitely moved.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it definitely did.
No, it didn't. Which one?
That one.
The clown one?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
I don't know.
Okay, onward. So I had a couple stories.
Okay.
And we're kind of running low on time, so we're gonna have to do a Dolls Part 2 because
Or just throwing on the beginning of the next one and make the next one a short one.
Sure. Well,
Or a short topic.
Season 2, we're gonna do another Dolls episode
Okay.
because there's still a lot to cover. We didn't even touch on voodoo dolls. Mexico, they have
the island of the...
they have a whole island of dolls.
Yeah.
They also have their own version of voodoo dolls, and I would love to dive into that type of stuff as well.
Okay.
So I have a story that we're gonna end the night with.
Okay.
And I hope you're wearing your brown pants, Orrin, because
I always am.
this one is a doozy.
I was just say, oh, okay.
It's a long one.
Okay,
so
I'm
buckle
strapped
up,
in, I'm strapped
Dylan.
in, ready to
Buckle
go.
up. But trigger warning: the death of a child. Very sad, very brutal. So skip forward if you don't want to hear the story. This one is about little Nancy.
I already hate it.
You already hate
I
it.
already hate it. I already
Okay.
hate the name.
Okay. All right. There are myriad tales of haunted dolls in the world. Such stories draw our attention because the culprits are so unsettling to begin with. Their little plastic bodies and dead beady eyes staring at the world never cease to instill wonder in some, and fear in others. Tales of haunted dolls really run the range, and some of them seem to have the habit of ending up as violent little stories that seem plucked straight out of a horror movie. One of these scary stories is Haunted Dolls Run Amok is certainly one that had made its rounds and which suggests a cursed demonic doll behind a vicious killing. In 2011, 45-year-old Byron Robertson of El Paso, Texas, flew into a rage to viciously murder his 5-year-old daughter, Nancy. The perpetrator was put through various psychological tests, and it was determined that he was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. Yet, this did him little help in his plight. He was convicted of the murder and sentenced to death, sent to wallow and languish on death row. And it was here where the very strange interview would be allegedly carried out, pointing to some sort of supernatural sinister force behind it all. It would come to pass that a psychiatrist by the name of Dr. Jack Randolph would find himself sitting across from Robertson with the intent of finding out whether the ruthless criminal was eligible for the insanity plea. Under interrogation, the jailed suspected murderer would supposedly open up a bit and launch into a rather bizarre take on the series of events, leading up to the tragic death of his daughter, which had been picked apart and discussed ever since. Robertson began with telling of the time he went out to shop for a present for Nancy's 5th birthday. At the time, he and his wife had fallen on hard times, but had managed to borrow some money in order to get her presents and throw a modest birthday party for her. They found their gift at a surplus store in Pecos, Texas, in the form of a large plastic doll that was a little eerie, but cute enough they had deemed it to be a good present. They were right in the sense that Nancy apparently loved it, with her and the toy soon becoming inseparable. Their girl would sleep with it every night, bring it to school to show it to her friends, and even set out a place at the dinner table for the doll. Indeed, the birthday had gone off splendidly, and Robertson would describe it as one of the happiest days of his life, yet dark clouds were apparently on the horizon. As time passed, Nancy's love for that creepy doll seems to have grown into a full-blown obsession. She began to devote all of her time to the doll, primping and preening it, while ignoring her friends and classmates. And she would spend hours in her room enthusiastically talking to it. It got so bad that their teachers even mentioned it to the parents and said that it was an unhealthy attachment. Robertson would say this: "At our house, her life practically revolved around that doll. Then she started doing weird things with it. She started dressing the doll with her own clothes. She dyed its black hair blonde like her. Oh God. She even brings it with her as she takes a bath, uses her own shampoo and cologne on it. But the worst part was that every day and every night she just talks with that doll. Not just pretending to talk with it. She was having long conversations with it. like the dang thing is actually responding to her. The two parents allegedly got to the point where they had had enough and decided to take the doll away. They whisked it off and locked it away in their closet where she would have no access to it. But this sent the child into a rage. She screamed and cursed and shouted and broke things around the house as she demanded to know where her beloved doll was and insisted that they give it back. This escalated very quickly. It was all very out of character for her, a well-behaved child, and would supposedly explain what happened next. At first, me and my wife were firm on our decision to lock the toy away for Nancy's sake. However, our little Nancy, our dear little angel, started to curse on us. I don't want to further remember what she said, but our daughter said the most horrible stuff to us. We couldn't take it anymore, and we dragged Nancy back to her bedroom. As we entered her room, we were all surprised to see the doll laying on Nancy's bed. My wife and I were terrified at what we saw, because we were dead sure that we had locked that doll in our closet. Nancy, on the other hand, was so happy she was with her doll again. She ran up to it, caressed it, and asked if it was all right. Then Nancy laid beside it on her bed and told it that she would never let it out of her sight again. And my wife just stood there, scared crapless. Sorry, I don't like to cuss, guys, so this is the censored for TV version. Scared crapless on what just happened. It wasn't the last time that we tried to get rid of it, though. We knew that there's something about that doll, something evil that's pulling our Nancy away from us. It had already affected her life at school and at home, and we needed to do something about it. It had already caused us a lot of problems and dilemmas, and we just can't stand by and do nothing. My wife and I knew that we had to get rid of the doll permanently. Indeed, according to Robertson, they tried many times to lock the doll up and keep it away from their steadily more unhinged daughter, but every time they did so, it would miraculously appear on her bed again. No matter what lengths they went through to make sure it stayed locked up. Because of this, they came to the conclusion that the only thing left to do was to destroy the accursed thing. To this end, Robertson not only took the doll away again, but this time broke its legs, pulled its head off before throwing it in the trash.
Cool.
He would say, "We managed to remove that doll away from Nancy again one night as she slept. We waited until near dawn before we went outside, throwing it in the trash. Watching the truck take it away was the best bet we had to finally getting rid of it. To make sure, though, I ferociously ripped its dress, broke its little plastic arms and legs. For a safe measure, I also pulled its head away, and it went down the trash together with all of the other parts. Then we watched the garbage truck take it away, thinking that we would never see it again. The following morning, there was a visitor at the door of their home, and it proved to be a contingent of police officers on an obviously tense and upset state. These somber policemen then informed them that their daughter, Nancy, had been found in the garbage in a mangled, dismembered state, and Robertson would excitedly say, "In the late morning, we were just shocked to see policemen knocking at our door. They brought us grave news that still gives me mental breakdowns every night. They told us that the mutilated head, torso, and limbs of our daughter were found in a garbage truck. But it couldn't have been our dear Nancy. She was sleeping in our bedroom. During that time, the police must have made a mistake. However, when we went to check Nancy's room, our dear angel was nowhere to be found, but her doll, laying on the bed where Nancy was supposed to be. We were more horrified of what we saw. It just didn't make any sense. My wife and I know what we did. It was the doll that we threw away in the trash, but how come that thing was in there and Nancy wasn't?" Robertson was arrested for murder of his own daughter. Something he vehemently denied through the whole ordeal, yet no one believed him. He wanted to tell the whole world that the accursed doll had done something to them and deceived them, but he knew that he would sound like a raging lunatic if he did. In the meantime, His wife became so despondent over the whole thing that she would hang herself as she was being held for questioning. None of this demonic doll talk would go over well with jurors, and he would eventually be sentenced to death, but not without making a final statement about the whole bizarre ordeal, saying, "I should have known better. I shouldn't have bought my own daughter a doll. I shouldn't have bought my dear Nancy that demonic doll. And now I hear from all of you, the jury, the media, and the police, blaming me for killing my own daughter. All of you thinking of me as a crazy psychopath. Or I never in my own life tried to kill my own family. You can put me in the electric chair, inject me or hang me, for all I care. You can do whatever you want. Burn me at the stakes if you want to. Murder me. Make me the third victim of that doll. But please hear me out. Please destroy that thing. You can get rid of me, but for the love of God, get rid of it too." Is there anything to this? The one thing that raises red flags is that this story was born from the internet, with little in the way of corroboration, and very likely this is just another mini creepypasta floating around out there. This is not a real story, guys.
Or is it?
Spooky.
Or is it?
Oh gosh.
Or is it, Cary?
That was really good.
Oh gosh.
That's spooky.
Yeah. So you guys rest easy tonight. That last story wasn't real, but the other ones were.
I think that died.
Oh yeah, it probably did. So yeah, let us know what you guys think. I think we had a good time.
Yeah,
I'm thoroughly spooked.
I'm thoroughly spooked.
Are we going to do try to communicate with these dolls or what?
You want to? Yeah.
I mean, we kind of promised that we were going to.
We would.
If you guys want to see us do an investigation and try to communicate with our dolls here, join us on YouTube or Spotify, where we have video, because you're going to want to see how spooky these dolls look.
Because they are spooky and quite scary. And I'm scared holding this one.
But you're doing great, and she loves it. She's smiling right now. So.
All right. So, let's where do you want to start with these dolls? We should probably also know what names to ask.
Know what names to ask? They're going to tell us what the names are.
Yeah, true, I guess. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to move the dolls back to the table. And Orrin is going to get his spirit box out.
Yes.
Which is a tool used in ghost hunting to communicate with spirits.
I'm probably going to have to hold this one away.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. This head is so very not stable. So I'm just going to kind of toss this guy over here. A little out of frame. Oh my gosh. This head is so spooky. All right. So
how does this work?
Who's going to put the headphones on with the spirit
box? That's what I
box?
was about to ask you. Like, I feel like you should put them on.
Okay, I'll throw them on.
Because you're more of a believer than I am.
Yes. All right, guys. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do a spirit box session. The spirit box cycles through radio stations, and supposedly spirits can communicate to people through the radio frequencies. And so what I'm going to do, and they call this the Estes method, is Orrin is going to ask questions to the dolls. I'm going to have headphones on. I'm not going to hear these questions. And the dolls are going to communicate through me, through the radio. So I'm going to hear words, and I'm going to say what I hear out loud.
Before you listen, let's just give a quick demonstration of what the spirit box sounds like. It's very loud and annoying, but
it is truly awful, honestly.
This is what Cary's going to be hearing in his headphones while I ask the dolls questions. So yeah, pretty much that's it. It just cycles through. I'll pause it right now. It cycles through radio frequencies, and the spirits can use the EMF, EVF, whatever frequencies to talk through the radio. So yeah.
That's the theory behind
That's
spirit
the theory
boxes.
behind it.
So you're gonna have to take this on faith.
Exactly. Like there's no on.
You're gonna have to suspend disbelief.
Exactly. There you go. Roll credits. He said it. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to turn it on now. Hold on, let me get these headphones in the right position.
Alright, and I am actually going to go just in the dark here. I'm not going to see or hear anything. So if the dolls move or anything like that, Orrin, you better freaking hit me or something so I can
Oh yeah, for sure.
get out of the spirit box realm.
And also a nifty thing with this spirit box is I can turn on this temperature setting. It'll beep blue when it's cold, red when it's hot, and then it'll beep if there's a presence near. I think if there's a presence near, it'll beep blue for cold. So, is it going right now?
It's going.
Okay.
It's going, brother. All right, so I'm going to throw a bandana over my eyes so I can't see anything. And I'm going to have these noise-canceling headphones on so I can't hear anything either. And so Orrin's going to ask some questions, and we're just going to kind of see how it goes. And right now, I'm just hearing a lot of just, I don't know, random stuff.
Is it cycling through, though?
Yeah, I'm not hearing like any words or anything like that.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
we'll see if I
see what
can even
happens.
hear anything.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work,
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
But supposedly
I'd be kind of relieved if it didn't work, honestly. I'm a little scared.
But supposedly these two dolls are haunted, so we'll see.
All right.
All right.
I'm going into the upside down, guys. So it's going to be Orrin and the dolls now.
Oh, she immodest.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Come on, Orrin. Come on.
My bad.
This is her first TV break.
We'll start with this one right here.
Okay. All right. I'm going.
All right.
I'm going to be gone. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right. Is it plugged in? Is he jacked in? There he goes. Johnny Mnemonic. Okay. We'll start with this one right here. Could you tell me your name, please? Do you have a name? Could you recite your name
X.
for us? X. X gonna give it to you. Cool. Are we speaking with? Is DMX dead? Yeah. Are we speaking with
Jim.
Jim? All right. Okay. That's not what I would have thought for this doll. We'll go with Jim. Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your favorite color, Jim?
Lonely.
You're lonely. Well,
Yesterday.
Well, that's when Cary did pick you up yesterday. So that's neat.
Garbage?
He was in an alley when he picked you up. So there was garbage in an alley. All right, Jim.
I was right.
Yeah, I just said that, Jim. All right. Let's see. What else can I ask you? Tell us why you're possessing this doll, Jim. Like, why? Is there something unfinished business you have? Is it just for fun? Are you trapped, perhaps? If your name is Jim.
OKC.
Yes, that's where we are, Jim. Correct. Thank you.
Half price.
That's probably how much you were. The doll was half price because it is a crappy looking doll. Sorry, Jim, if that offends you. You can give me a yes or no that offends you, Jim. Just let me know.
In
for no? That doesn't offend you? Okay.
how to.
How to?
You are.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Sally.
Sally, there's a name. Perhaps you're Sally. Perhaps you're Sally. Let's ask Sally some questions. Sorry, Jim. Sally, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why are you possessing this clown doll? This porcelain, creepy clown doll. We'll call you Sally. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Sally?
Jesus.
Jesus. Okay. Where are we currently, Sally? What city are we in? Jim seems to know, and I'm curious if you know anything. Anything at all?
I hear you.
Okay, well, answer my question, Sally. Like, where are we? Anything?
Holding on.
I'm holding on for an answer. Yes. Sally, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why are you possessing this doll? Is there some unfinished business you have? Are you trapped? I'm fully conversing with a doll, looking it straight in the eye. Like, let's look eye to eye so I can get through to you. Okay, there we go. Why are you here, Sally? Why are you in this doll? Can you tell me anything about yourself?
Extreme?
Extreme? Like, this is a bit extreme? The eye contact? I agree.
Ask about it.
Ask about. I'm asking you about it. Like, you know, what's your deal? Where are you from?
Check it.
Check it. Check what? Don't get fresh with me. If this is DMX, don't get fresh with me. I hate looking right into your eyes. I'll tell you that right now.
Take me.
No, I will not, Sally. It's a bit forward of you. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. Just looking.
3. Hold me.
All right, you said so. So. Oh, sorry about your hat. Oh, sorry about your head. You're just falling apart. All right, tell me more, Sally. I'm holding you. What more do you want? I hate this. I legitimately hate this.
Dude, you're going all in.
This is investigative work. This is the job.
That's true.
Dylan, do you maybe have any questions for Sally or Jim here?
Callous.
It's Sally, right?
Sally. This one's Sally. We'll go with Sally.
Please.
Do you tell us if you know any of our names? Do you know
Yes,
any of our
please,
names,
yeah.
Sally?
I need.
What do you need?
Our names are Cary, Orrin, or Dylan. Can you repeat any of those names for us, please?
You.
Me? I don't enjoy that. What about me? Can you say my name? The glow in your eyes is really...
Warning.
Yeah.
What
All right.
can you say the first letter of Orrin's name?
Yeah, can you do that? I bet you can't. Challenging you now. Nope, you can't.
Portal.
Portal.
Oh, good.
I do love that game.
Contradiction.
Okay. We're kind of hitting a roadblock here, Sally. Can you give us anything?
Yeah.
Perhaps repeat our names: Cary, Orrin, or Dylan. If you can't give us anything, I'm going to go back to Jim and start asking Jim questions. Nothing? I'll give you a
90?
countdown. 90? I'll give you a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Insurance.
6, 5,
Runner.
4, 3.
K-Love.
One more time, Sally. 8 of our names: Dylan, Orrin, or Cary.
Dark.
Dark, and it is dark outside. Yes, that is correct. All right.
Truth.
Yeah, I am telling the truth. All right. 5,
I was off.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Sally, you're done.
Are you really?
Yeah, you are really done. We're gonna go back to Jim. Sorry about your hat.
Member.
Remember what?
Remember when we were hanging
Maybe.
out?
Scrawny.
All right, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Love the enthusiasm, Jim.
Jim's here to hang out.
Jim's down the clown. All right, Jim.
You know that Jim is my grandpa's name?
Really?
Jimmy. Yep.
Jimmy? Well, I hope we're not talking to him. Is he?
God.
Followed by.
Oh.
Jim.
Ever.
Jim, if that is your name, that's just what we're going with. I don't know if that's your name or not. Could you repeat our names? I'm Orrin.
World.
I am Orrin. This is Cary, and this is Dylan. Could you repeat our names back to us? Say our names back to us, please. If you're out there, if you're listening.
What it comes down to.
Yeah, what it comes down to is I need you to repeat our names.
Misleading.
One more time, Jim. Either our names. Say our name. Cary, Orrin, or Dylan. Say Cary's name so you can watch this and get spooked. That'd be awesome.
Or just the letter C. That would work.
Yeah, letter C. I'm giving you a softball here.
This is an easy one.
Yeah. Anything, Jim.
What color is the bandana that...
Stay with me.
Okay.
Okay.
What color is the bandana?
Battery.
Okay.
That's B. What color is the bandana that Cary has around
I don't
her
like
waist?
it. This bandana, I don't either. Now, is this Cary or is this... Cary saying he doesn't like it. All right, Jim, I'm going to give you a countdown. I'll give you 10 seconds to say
Death.
some... No, that's not fun.
Rude.
Culture.
Culture. Death culture.
Please.
Please end this. We're about
Mystery.
to, Jim.
I'm sorry.
Then do something, Jim. Like, don't be sorry. Just give us something.
Thanks for listening.
Well, I get you want to end it. We're ending it then. So,
It doesn't feel like...
all right, Jim. I'm really having a tough time. We're trying to meet you halfway here. I'll give you 10 seconds. And you can say either our names, Cary, Orrin, or Dylan. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just say one of our names. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Keep walking.
1. All right, rude.
All right.
All right. Well, Jim, you're done. I don't know if I'm the most qualified investigative ghost, whatever. Sorry about your dress. We're done.
Well done.
We got nothing out of these guys.
Nothing. Okay, it's kind of a relief.
Hey, we can always ask Tina. We haven't asked Tina anything yet.
Hi, Tina.
I could go in if you want to ask Tina some questions, or if
Okay.
you want to give it a go.
No, I'd love to ask some questions. So you didn't get anything?
No. not
Okay.
really. I mean,
There was some almost stuff.
there's almost stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like a lot of call and response. Like it kind of made sense. Like some of the stuff. But we were like asking for can you give us names can you repeat our names or
Oh,
stuff
really?
like that.
Okay.
Proof that they're actually listening.
Gotcha.
But if you want to give these guys a go, this is Jim and this is Sally.
Jim and Sally?
Yeah, that's what we figured out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi, Jim and Sally. Your hat fell off. I
Yeah.
don't know at what point.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, I kind of caressed both of them, and
Oh.
Sally asked me to hold her, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that was?
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Or was it take me and then hold me? So I was like, all right.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
All right. So, go into the upside down.
All right.
On it.
Do you want to do it, or I can do it, Orrin, if you guys both want to talk?
Yeah, that sounds great, honestly. Dylan, would you like to go
You want
into
to
the
go
upside
in?
down?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, I'll go.
Cool. All right.
All right. So, our producer, Dylan, he's going to throw the headphones on.
This might be
and-
more productive because you probably have more questions. I don't know.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring Tina over here.
Okay.
And we're going to try to ask her some questions along with Jim and Sally.
We can live like Jim and Sally.
Well, alrighty then. Oh, man. I don't like...
I don't like the
Holy
noises Tina makes.
Yep.
It's the creaky.
Yeah.
Okay.
The phone's still going, right, Dylan? We still got video going?
Yep.
Sweet action.
Oh, bro, I will say, holding this and just looking into its eyes, you can see like that red light reflect in its eyes, and it looks super creepy.
Oh my gosh.
That's
And
crazy.
I messed up her head. I don't know how to fix it. I guess that's how you do it. All right, are we deciding?
How does this work?
Let's see here. Oh, you probably have to hold this. So I think that wire's in. Let's see. What is sweep rate? We're at like 200. Try that.
There we go.
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
We're gonna have
All right.
on in case it does anything. All right. So Dylan's underneath right now. He's in.
He's in the grid.
There's your bandana. I don't know if
He
you
is
need that. Just
in the
close your eyes.
upside down.
I'm blind, so.
Okay.
You
That
can't
works
see
too.
anything anyway. All right, just don't watch your lips.
Yeah.
Capiche? All right, so here we have Jim, Sally, and Tina.
This is a rough job to give a producer who has to listen to the podcast to make sure our audio's.
Yeah. Okay, so can any of you guys, say anything to us?
Tina, Jim, or Sally, can you repeat any of our names? I am Orrin. This is Cary, and our producer Dylan over there. Can you repeat?
Radio.
Here we go.
There we go. All right. I like the enthusiasm. Can you repeat any of
Wake
our?
up.
Is that to Jim? Because Jim's kind of out right now. We'll prop Jim
I'm
up.
creeped out. I'm scared about the wake up thing. So, are you guys, whoever's in here with us, are you a good or a bad energy?
You can already tell the investigation style is different between us.
Can you
Open.
say open? Okay, so there.
You are.
I am. Okay.
There it
Jones.
is. Open.
You
Very
won't.
open.
I'm very open.
I am.
You're open too. That's good to know. Which one of you is speaking, Jim, Sally, or Tina?
Because I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're Jim, Sally, or Tina.
Miss
Radio.
Miss Tina, is it you speaking through the radio?
Spirit of the radio. Do we have a Rush fan in here? Jim, Sally, or Tina?
Respect.
Respect. Rush does rule, yeah.
We do respect you guys. I am here with the utmost respect. I just want to talk to you.
I am too. I'm just trying to get something out of you.
Me.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to you. Whoever's here with us.
Whoever me is. Jim,
And what? Tuesday.
Tomorrow is
Storm.
Tuesday.
Technically, it is Tuesday right now.
Yeah, true. It is
Yeah.
midnight.
Midnight o'clock. Miss Tina, can you say anything to us? Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you miss your family?
What's magic?
It's a very that's a loaded question. There's a lot to magic. We don't actually
Like
know.
street magic or Chris Angel or
Real magic, like talking dolls magic,
yeah,
speaking to us through a spirit box.
close up magic,
Protect.
protect.
Okay, protection magic. That's interesting. Okay, interesting. Well, all right. Do you like?
Me.
Yes, you.
Yes, me.
Do you like being in a doll? Would you rather be in?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, okay.
Would you rather be in
Alright.
a 6'1" Indian guy over here to my right, because he is opening applications for
That extra
possessions.
inch is generous. Thank you.
Yes. Would you rather be in Orrin?
Working.
Okay,
Working
you're
on
working
it?
on being in Orrin. Interesting.
All right, cool.
Very interesting.
When I was.
When you were what? Oh, now we're getting
Taken.
somewhere.
When you
When
were
you were taken.
taken.
Okay.
What
Learn
happened?
more.
We're trying to learn more. What happened when you were taken? Can you tell
Lied.
us more about it?
Night.
Okay, you were at night.
At night. Who are we speaking to? Can you give us a name? Here, I'll make it easy. 1, 2, 3. Can you repeat that back to us? 1, 2, or 3. Which one of you is speaking to us? 1, 2,
My.
or 3.
Okay, got it. You're kind of messing with us.
Yeah. We'll give a designation. Sally's 1, Jim's 2, Tina's 3. Which one of you is speaking
Mine.
to us? Mine again. Okay.
It's good.
What's good?
I mean, honestly, Lots of stuff is good. We're just kind of hanging out, doing the thing, you know, having a good time.
Oh, and we might be speaking to the spirit of DMX as well.
DMX.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I asked for a name, he said X. So I was like, DMX? So.
Well, all right. Do you have anything else you'd like to tell us, ladies? Any exciting news going on in your life?
Anything, please? Ladies?
Love.
Great. We love you too.
Keep.
Yeah. Well,
Keep on, keep it on.
So fun.
This
We're
is so
probably not
fun.
going to keep you guys. We're going to take you back
Appreciate
home. Exactly.
reflection.
We're going to take you back home. We're going to reflect on what we talked about tonight. And our eyes are a little bit more open.
Feelings.
We have a lot of
This
good
is
feelings.
very positive. This
I have
is
a lot of
very
good feelings
positive
about what
turnout.
happened tonight.
Yeah,
with you
I'm
ladies.
enjoying this. This is fun.
Yeah. Anything else?
Any
You ready to go back home, guys?
Working.
Working on it? Good.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you here.
Hey, guy. Don't tell them that. Anything else?
Totally.
Okay. Totally have something else?
You know.
I know. That's why we're asking questions. So.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Now.
You guys have
We
Third-
have to.
30 more seconds.
Yeah, you have to say something. So
Anything
give us
else you wanna
something.
say to
Give
us?
Anything.
We can keep this going.
Yeah. Till we get an answer. Till we get concrete evidence that there is a spirit in one of these dolls. Which I'm thinking these two. I don't know about this one.
I don't know.
Anything. Come on. Jim, Sally, Tina.
6.1.
Nice.
6'1" right here.
That's
Inches.
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't
Don't want to possess him.
Enjoy that. That's, nice correlation, but
Good.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. He is a good vessel.
It's a car.
He's in the shape of some vehicles out there. I've noticed.
Hit a wall.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
all right.
rude. All right.
An eye.
Yeah, he does have a wonky eye, doesn't he?
Need.
He doesn't need
You.
You, Cary? Yeah, okay. All right. That's what I heard.
No. Any last words?
How. Me.
Yeah.
Your alignment.
Your alignment.
My alignment. My spine. Am I sitting crooked?
Like chaotic neutral? Like we talking D&D?
And Watanga?
We should
Okay.
we should investigate in Watanga. For ghosts.
Interesting. All right.
All right. Any last words, ladies?
It's to be.
It's to be what?
Or not to be.
To be or not to be? Okay, it's to be.
Love.
We're going to go investigate in Watanga. Apparently, I don't know.
There'll have to be a better.
It'll have to be better. Better what?
Susan.
It'll have to be better.
Oh, Susan. All right.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Could one of you be
There is
Susan?
time.
There's time. There's time for what, Susan?
Adventure.
Adventure.
All
There
right.
is time for
Susan.
adventure.
All
That's
right.
what we're here for.
All right. Cool.
There's
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
not
Uh-huh.
dollar.
Okay.
There's not dollar.
There, we don't have very many of those, I'll tell you what.
That's a salient point. Which one of you said that?
It's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a $5.
Foot long? All right. All right, ladies. I think you guys are having fun.
Yeah, I think
we
we're
had a
done.
good
I think
night.
We're done here.
It's been a pleasure. We're going to close out this episode.
Yeah. Tina, thank you for your time. Sally, thank you for your time. Jim, thank you for your time. I think we should top Dylan and bring him out.
Yeah, bring him out of the upside down. Something like that. Those are not the stopping buttons.
not stopping buttons. We're done. We're
Well
out
done.
of it.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
We're
All
saying
right.
goodbye to the dolls.
So that's going to be a YouTube exclusive.
Don't haunt us, please.
Spotify exclusive. Go and check it out. We investigated. We tried to communicate with these dolls, and we got some fun conversations out of it.
How did
Somewhere.
it go?
It was fun. It was cool. It was interesting.
We're learning about some deals, some $5 for $1, not $1 or something.
Yeah. There's some dollar talk going on.
Yeah, dude, Susan's really trying to get us to adventure in Watanga.
Yeah, and whoever Susan is, I don't know. Could be one of these dolls, could be a random spirit, but Susan said, hey, there's adventure in Watanga, so get out there.
Watanga. I don't know anything about Watanga.
I don't either.
But I've heard of Watanga cheese. Is that a thing?
I don't know if that's a thing.
Oh my god.
What?
This doll's head just moved.
It definitely did. I watched it happen.
Dang it, I missed it. Dang, that sucks.
It's on video.
Cool.
I'm thoroughly spooked. Okay, so a doll finally moved on camera, on the table. My arm was definitely on the table, so hopefully that's just all it was.
I think it was the cord that moved it. It's
The
just
nice,
me being
spooky
skeptic.
clown doll
It
moved
was
its head.
definitely on camera too, which is
Nice. Alright, I can't wait to see that.
Okay, anyway, check out our YouTube. Watch us
Yes.
investigate and communicate with these dolls. It was fun. It was a nice little time.
Yes, and if this episode wasn't scary enough, go watch our short film, Attack of the Killer Elves, which a lot of creepy dolls in that.
Yeah, we get killed by some dolls.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Yes.
It's a very good time. And we have other short films. Check them
Yes,
out.
other short films, please. Thank you for tuning in. If you like the show, please rate and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, or your podcast app of choice. You can find us on Instagram at The Skullcrawlers and YouTube. Just search The Skullcrawlers Movie Club, and you can find all of our videos, the podcasts, our behind the scenes, and all of our shorts so far. And that'll do it for tonight's episode.
What are we talking about next week?
What do we talk about next week? Let's talk about Cursed Productions.
Okay.
I have a few stories about
Cursed Movie Productions.
Cursed movie productions, like for instance, The Exorcist.
Okay.
The Twilight's on the movie. There's a
Or the most cursed movie franchise of all time, The Poltergeist.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one. All right.
Good stories about that one.
Yeah, so tune in next time. We'll talk about Cursed movie productions. That'll do it for Suspend Disbelief. I'm Orrin Punkilla.
And I'm Cary Thomas Cody.
And as always, sleep with one eye open because you never know who's watching.
Thanks for suspending disbelief. Later.
Good night.